But Onana, people have said to me he's brilliant, he can play out from the back. He has to be able to save a shot every now and then, and that De Gea, the first one, is a disgrace. I've had balls passed to me harder than that, and you just control that. The fact that that's ended up central, just rolling into the back of the net. When Ziyech hits that, he's not expecting that to end up in the back of the net because it's such a poor free kick. And I know there's bodies in the way, but Onana takes that step behind the wall thinking it's going to come up and over. If a player's going to do that to you, sometimes you hold your hands and go, that's brilliant skill, but you have to make sure you don't get beat on your side. The second Ziyech free kick, I've a little bit of sympathy with him because I think Martial ducks out of the way just at the last second and makes it really difficult. And I was always taught that if you're defending a set piece and you can deal with it personally, go and deal with it. Don't expect somebody to deal with it behind you.
You didn't think that Martial is facing his own goal, he's going at pace, that he's concerned about just knocking it in as an OG, and that's why he ducks?
Yeah, possibly, but the fact that he looks like he's there and then all of a sudden he goes, no, I don't fancy it. Onana's probably thinking, well, he's dealing with it, and then his reaction time is cut to half a second or whatever. So I do think Onana should do better, Martial should do better. Should they be a little bit higher? Should they be lower from the set piece? I'm not too sure, but when United are 2-0 up, you don't back them, do you? I didn't think that's the game sewn up. I thought Galatasaray will still have a chance in this.
I thought the second one was worse than the first one from Onana's point of view, and look, not a goalkeeping expert, and you're right, it's a very basic error it feels for the first one where he takes that step. The second one, even with the Martial influence, it's more the reaction when he gets down where he just closes his fist and almost tries to let it bounce off his hand to go clear rather than being in any ways commanding and knowing what he wants to do with it. And again, you're looking at Manchester United and, well, they need a keeper.
Yeah.
And they just replaced the guy they needed to get rid of for 3 years with somebody they thought would transform not just the goalkeeping position but the entire way they play. Have you seen any sign of a change in how they try and do things from the back because Onana's in goal rather than De Gea's in goal?
No, not really. I mean, a lot of what I see with Onana is he will sit on the ball, he will keep it and keep it and keep it. And even against Everton on Sunday, Calvert-Lewin was very standoffish in the press, but then he'd sort of half-hearted come, but Onana would hold on to it and hold on to it and drag him in, and then he would pass, and you're thinking, oh, what's the point? Like, you're killing the game here.
So what's meant to happen in that scenario where the ball goes back to Onana, but actually the opposition don't press? So he's, as you say, and this has happened since the first minute of the first day of the season, because I remember commentating on their opener, and the ball went back to him and you sort of wondered what he was going to do, and he just stood there almost statuesque for 5-10 seconds and waited for the press to come, which never came. So what would you expect a keeper to do in that scenario then? Or is it on the keeper, or is it on his teammates?
Well, he needs to make up his mind an awful lot earlier, because standing just with the ball there, doing nothing, being static and thinking, well, I'll wait till the picture changes. Go and lend it to Harry Maguire, get it straight back, bounce it 1 or 2, move it around, play it out to your left back, do what you like, try and fling one over the top. But standing there for 10-15 seconds just with your foot on the ball thinking, well, something will change in a minute or something will happen. I mean, you see Ederson, you see Alisson doing that, but they're doing that with, as soon as they start to creep up that pitch, I'm flinging this over the top of them. And Onana doesn't seem to have that. It's like it's almost like now he's trying to prove how good of a footballer he is. Like, I'm going to play that eye of the needle pass, I'm going to flick one around the corner. It's like, just do the basic job, get the ball, give it to people, and start putting the building blocks in place, because at the minute, he needs to keep the ball out of there. He's not doing that, and his football is not getting to the point where you think, oh, but he's a brilliant footballer. He looks okay as a footballer, but in terms of shot stopping, I think every United fan would be thinking they'd have David de Gea back.